So now we're going to discuss about absolute gravitational potential energy and why we have derived it despite having an equation that is mgh, which is potential energy. Why do we need an absolute gravitational potential? Absolute means 108%, right? So the first factor that we're going to discuss here is that absolute, maybe I might have mistaken this spelling, but you can correct it by yourself. Absolute gravitational potential energy, right? So the first factor or definition of the absolute gravitational potential energy is the amount of work done. The amount of work done to carry object from that point, to carry the object from that point to infinity, where potential energy is maximum. Potential energy is maximum and it is equals to 0, right? So this is a definition. Now this is a pretty fancy definition. You might not get it in a just once. So we'll describe each and every sentence. What is it exactly mean? So the first of all, discussing just for a while, remember this definition. First of all, we're going to discuss about the significance and why we have actually derived this absolute gravitational potential energy, though we have already have the gravitational potential energy formula, right? So the first reason was actually to drive this formula was a reference, or we're going to talk about the reference point. But before that, we know that for instance, we have spring. I'm going to talk about some positive and negative forces or for increase and decreasement in the forces, right? Now we're going to discuss about the factor. For instance, this is a box and this is a spring. The box is connected with the spring and it is at its means position. This is a ball. When you just display this ball in box in this direction, it gets displayed. As a result, the energy is stored in the spring and comes back to its position. Anything that comes back to its original position after being applied, after being scratched or displaced from its position by the application of force is known as positive work. So here the work done value is maximum, right? So this is basically a gravitation. This is the elastic potential energy. This is elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy, right? I'm making a lot of mistakes in example. Okay, talking about the next type of potential energy. For instance, this is a nucleus. Let's just make it with blue color. So this is basically a nucleus, and this is a shell. Okay, so this is electron present in an infinity, right? This is electron present in infinity. Already we can see. Oh my God, this is such a messy. I'm gonna remove it, or I'm gonna put it to a. Okay, so this is something like this. Okay, so this is basically an atom. And this is electron present here, electron and two electrons are present in the first shell. So when you bring this electron from infinity to this point, the repulsion takes place between this electron and this electron. But actually this electron comes into the field and start orbiting or spinning around this nucleus. So this is basically a which is the electric potential energy, right? So this is the electric potential energy, the store energy. Right? Talking about the last one, that is actually we are concerned with it. Is that for instance, think of it. This is a surface. The ball is present here. When you just throw this ball in an upward direction, it goes here and I have to come back to this direction. So this is a positive work done. While if we drop the ball from this position to down, it does not. It's pretty obvious that it does not go back to its position, just because it cannot travel against the gravitation force. This is a negative work done. So we can see difference or work done in the same of the same body or the same system, right? When to which we are investigating about the energies and change in energy, the positive or negative energies, right? So now this was actually one of the reasons of gravitation, absolute gravitational potential energy. And the second reason was actually the relative point. Now what is a relative point, right? So I'm going to only discuss about relative point in this lecture. So let's discuss it. For instance, this is basically a path. I'll try to explain it, but it's just a bit confusing. For instance, consider the ball is placed here, right? When ball is placed here and you're gonna displace this ball, it comes here, right? When it comes here, it does not go back. It cannot go back to its original position. So here it is this decrease in energy or the negative energy, right? But if the ball, it was a ball is just for initially ball was placed here, then we just bring the ball to this position and it comes back to this position. So this is the positive work done. As a result, the ball displays in this direction, so it comes here, it cannot go back to its direction, negative work done. And when it comes here, sorry, it cannot go back to its direction. So as you can see that here the work done is positive. Oh, but energy is positive. Here energy is negative. Here minimum energy. Here maximum energy take place. So this is basically a relative position. There was actually a reason where that's why we actually derive the absolute gravitational potential in order to deal with these consequences, right? So yeah. So I'm gonna discuss about next factor in the next video.